Hi again, my name's Amelia. Welcome to my channel. On this channel, I'm developing ideas for a workbook about scapegoat abuse and what I call group abuse dynamics. So I'm both talking about my story of growing up with two narcissistic parents, and I'm talking about ideas that I'm learning about that are empowering me and that can also empower you. So welcome and thanks so much for being here. Something I just learned from Blake Anderson, who's a YouTuber here. He is a social worker in Toronto. I've been watching his videos. He's great. He and Jerry Wise, who's also an amazing YouTuber here, who talks about narcissistic abuse, talk about an acronym, JADE. I just learned about. And I'm so enlightened to hear about this because it explains something that's been going on in my head my whole damn life. What does it explain? Okay, so J, justify, argue, defend, and explain. So this is a process that goes on in my head about dealing with the shameful situation between me and my family. So when people ask me about my family or people comment who know my family, I have this mechanism in my head, which is like a part of me, if you're familiar with internal family systems. So this part becomes active when I have to deal with somebody who knows my mother or my father. Because I was never supported or validated or even believed by anyone in my family, I had to become my own damn lawyer and cop. I had to draw boundaries which were not respected. So then I had to find other strategies, and one of which was to justify, argue, defend, and explain. So when I now recognize that I'm going to have to deal with someone close to my family or in connection with my family, which is thankfully not very much anymore now that I'm fully estranged from both my parents, I find this part activated. So what does it mean to have a part activated? It means that something is kind of taking over you. It's taking over your thoughts. It could give you depression, anxiety. It could even make you dissociate and not know where you are or what is going on because you are so scared you cannot stop thinking about it. So this mental activity of justify, argue, defend, and explain is what your brain is doing to argue with you, okay? I don't feel good, something's wrong, and then your brain argues with that. But for me, it's mostly about arguing my case with other people. I had nobody to hear me. I had no siblings to see what I experienced in my life. I had no one in my family willing to say, oh yeah, something isn't right here. I only recently had a cousin. I reached out to a cousin and I told her about my life, and she did validate me, and that was extremely helpful and wonderful to me. As a result of all this, I have a lot of trouble in any sort of social relationship at all. So any validation, I need to take it in and really hold on to it. So I had to turn into a lawyer to defend myself, meaning if I had to deal with somebody who knew my mother, oh, how's your mother? Like the other day, my partner's mother has dementia and she's a wonderful person, but she doesn't know that I don't speak to my mother. And I don't want to tell her because I don't see her very often. So what's the point in delivering some bad news unless it's really important? So in cases like that, I'll just say, oh yeah, my mother's fine or whatever. But in other cases where my mother has already hurt me, such as gossiped to a friend or hurt my reputation, that's when I start to get my back up and I have to be prepared to say what I feel is the right thing so that I'm safe socially in situations. Now, none of this is voluntary and none of this is good and none of this is wanted. Who wants to be thinking about how to explain abuse for their entire damn life? But covert narcissism does exactly that to you. It keeps you in the dark. It keeps you guessing. It keeps you powerless. It keeps you degraded. So back in December, about 7-8 months ago, I went to my mother's house and I left her a letter, and I stopped talking to her at that point because I could no longer experience and deal with the fear and stress of having her in my life and what that entailed, and explaining this on and off again relationship to people that was just toxic. And it was very hard for me to separate because I need help. I don't have a car. I'm allergic to the sun. I have a serious illness. But my mother, despite all of the help she's given me, she's also my worst enemy. So I was tired of it. I was tired of having to do all of the emotional and mental labor, being in my mother's presence just to access some help because I am so disabled. So I left the letter there. A few weeks ago, present day, July 2026, I'd heard her gossiping about me again. So that gave me the opportunity to write her one final email and to block the email that she sent back to me. So I am completely no contact as of now. So now if I'm out in the world, in society, and I see someone who knows my mother, I mean, it doesn't happen very often because I'm largely housebound from my condition. But now, because I'm fully estranged, I feel safer expressing the truth to people. I also am going to pick my battles like I did with my partner's mother, and I'm going to know when it's appropriate to tell the truth and when it isn't. I'm also recognizing that I am damaged from this and that I could still have reactions when people bring up my mother or ask about my mother, and I'm choosing to love myself about that. I think there may always be a part of me that is hypervigilant, but learning about these concepts is so helpful because I'm able to put labels on things that had me by the throat for my entire life. And if you're smart like me and you like to read, it is so liberating and helpful to learn about, frankly, how crimes are committed against you. You know, people did horrible things to you. They talked about you behind your back. They humiliated you. They blocked you from having access to other people or happiness or opportunities in your life. There is no limit to the things that narcissistic abuse can bring into your life. So good for you for recognizing that and doing something about it. And thanks for doing that with me here.